boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 4.9, the Partial Sums Addition Algorithm. The materials that you'll need today: notebook paper, your pencil, math journal, and then either a ruler or a template for math boxes. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 106. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So looking at question number 1, how much money do you have if you have two $10 bills and a $5 bill? So if I count my bills first, I can see I have $25. And then if I look at my coins, I have a quarter, which is 25 cents. And then my dimes, so 35, 45, 55, 65. Then I can start counting by fives, 70, 75, and then pennies, 76, 77, 78. You should have had $25.78. For question number 2, the temperature was 73 degrees Fahrenheit. It got 13 degrees Fahrenheit colder. What is the temperature now? So notice how I started at 73 degrees Fahrenheit, then I subtracted 13. The end is what I'm trying to figure out, which I put a question mark. And so 73 minus 13 equals 60. So our answer is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. For question number 3, 25 books and bought 15 more. How many now? So we started at 25. We added 15. So 25 plus 15 equals 40 for a total of 40 books. For question 4, what time is it? So on the clock, I can see the hour hand is at the 10, the minute hand is on the 3, showing the time 10:15. And what time will it be in a half hour? So in a half hour is the same as 30 minutes, so I can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So in 30 minutes, it would be 10:45. For question 5, draw a line segment that is first 6 centimeters long. So you needed to use your template for this to measure that 6 centimeters long. Then for the bottom one, underneath, draw a line segment that is 2 centimeters longer. So 6 plus 2 is 8. So my bottom line segment needed to be 8 centimeters. So double check to make sure that your top line is 6 and that your bottom line is 8 centimeters. For question 6, draw a rectangle. Make sure that 2 of the sides are 3 centimeters long and 2 are 5 centimeters long. So I'm going to measure my longer side first. So I line up my 0 and I can see, yep, the top and the bottom are both 5 centimeters long. Then I'll turn my ruler and line up the other side. And I can see, yep, that the 2 shorter sides are 3 centimeters long. So if you can double check to make sure that you have your page correct and fix any mistakes with your pencil and eraser. For the next slides, please use either notebook paper or a whiteboard and marker if available. And if the speed is ever too fast, pause as often as needed. So for our first question, we are solving the problem 45 plus 22. Now there's a few different ways that we've been talking about for solving these problems, but today we're going to take a look at base 10 blocks. So notice how I have 4 longs showing 40, and I have 2 longs showing my 20. So I'm going to first start by counting my tens. So 40 plus 20 would bring me to 60. Then I'm going to count my ones. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. So 60 plus 7 would equal 67. Let's try another one like that. And for this next one, you can work this out on your whiteboard if you like. But for this one, we have 26 plus 57. So I want you to first add up your tens, then add your ones. So press pause and then play when you're ready to check. All right, so I know that 20 plus 50 would bring me to 70. And then I'm going to add my ones. So I know that 6 plus 7 equals 13. Now I'm going to add 70 plus 13, which would give us 83. So when we're solving partial products, we first add the tens. So in the problem 45 plus 37, we first start out by adding 40 plus 30, which brings us to 70. Then we switch and we add the ones. So 5 plus 7 gets us to 12. Then we're going to add the partial sums of the tens and the ones to get the final answer. So then we would add 70 plus 12 to get 82. So let's try some problems like this today in our math journal. So if you can put your whiteboard or your notebook to the side and open up your math journal to page 107, which looks like this. So the first one, the example, they did for you. So they have the problem 23 plus 46. So notice how they have their tens, their two tens, plus their four tens, giving us 20 plus 40, which is 60. And then their ones, we would add our 3 plus 6, which would be 9. 60 plus 9 would give us our answer of 69. So now let's try in our next one. We have 41 plus 35. I'm going to move these off to the side. Can you write down how many tens and how many ones and add your tens and your ones together for your answer? Let's try number 2 together. For the unit, you can choose whatever you like. I chose pencils for this one. So when I drew my markings, I drew 4 longs for my tens and then 3 longs. So 40 plus 30 gives us 70. Then for my ones, I did 1 plus 5 to bring us to 6. Now 70 plus 6 would give us the answer of 76. So can you press pause and solve problems 3 and 4 and then press play when you're ready to check? All right, so we had 67 plus 38. So I'm going to first look at my tens. So I have my 6 tens plus my 3 tens, 6 plus 3 to get me 90. And then I'm going to add my ones. So I had 7 ones plus 8 ones, which gives me 15. Now I'm going to add 90 plus 15. I know that 90 plus 10 would get me to 100, and then 100 plus 5 more would get me to 105. For the last problem, we have 46 plus 36. So I'm going to look at my tens. So I have my 40 plus 30, which gets us to 70. Then 6 plus 6, which brings us to 12. Now I'm going to add 70 plus 12. And I know that 70 plus 10 is 80, plus 2 more is 82. Second graders, we will work more on partial products and also more strategies with two-digit and two-digit addition in future lessons. But for the next thing that we'll do today is we'll take a look at the time of the day page, and this is page 109. So for problems 1 through 4, I want you to draw the hour hand and the minute hand to show the time. And then for problem number 5, you're going to record the time. But look at the clues carefully to figure out what time to write. So I'm going to ask that you solve this page and then press play when you're ready to check. Press pause now. All right, second graders, I'll read the questions to you, and if I'm ever going too fast, please pause as often as needed. So in our first clock, we have Luz, and she got up at 7 o'clock. She ate breakfast an hour later. Show the time when she ate breakfast. So I need to think 7 o'clock plus 1 more hour, and you should have had 8 o'clock. So notice how my hour hand is on the 8 and my minute hand is on the 12. For number 2, the second graders went on a field trip. They left school at 12:30. They got back 2 hours later. Show the time when they got back. With this one, I need to be a little bit careful. So 1 hour after 12:30 would be 1:30. And then 2 hours would be 2:30. So your clock should look something like this. Notice how my hour hand is halfway between the 2 and the 3, and then my minute hand is on the 6, showing 2:30. For question 3, Tony left home at 8:15. It took him half an hour to get to school. Show the time when he arrived at school. So looking at my clock, you should have had 8:45, because if I started at 8:15 and I add 30 more minutes, 15 plus 30 would get us to 45. For question 4, Ming finished reading a story at 10:30. It took her 15 minutes. Show the time when she started reading. So I need to think 15 minutes earlier than 10:30. So I should be showing 10:15. Notice how my hour hand is a little bit past the 10, and then my minute hand, the longer hand, is on the 3. For the last question, number 5, the clock shows when Bob went to bed. He went to sleep 15 minutes later. At what time did he go to sleep? And you should have had 9:30. So double check to make sure that you had this page correct and fix any mistakes with your pencil and eraser. The last thing that we'll talk about today are our math boxes. So if you can look at page 110, I'll ask that you complete this page on your own and take a picture and add that picture to CSAT from your classroom teacher, and we will go over this page in our next video. So question number 1, I bought a radio for $67. I paid with $100. How much change did I get? For question 2, what is the temperature? Circle the best answer. For question 3, write 3 even and 3 odd 2-digit numbers. So again, make sure that they're 2 digits, and then circle the even numbers. For question 4, what time is it, and what time will it be in 15 minutes? For question 5, find the rule, and then fill in your boxes. And then for our last question, use your pattern block template, draw the triangles, and then what is the difference between the triangles? All right, I will see you next time.